On the line with us is Davin Coburn in New York City. He is with Popular Mechanics magazine. Davin, thanks very much for being on our show this morning.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah. First of all, what is your job at Popular Mechanics, and why are you speaking with me?
Sure, I'm the research editor here at the magazine. I was an original reporter on the magazine piece in the March 2005 issue, and then my role for this book was largely to fact-check the material in it and to make sure that everything there was accurate.
All right, let me go to the phones. Mike in Phoenix is first this morning on the show.
Building 7, I think, is the real Achilles heel of all this. Larry Silverstein, the man who presciently took out an enormous insurance policy a couple months before 9/11 on the building that he had just, on the complex that he had just leased for 99 years, said that on PBS they decided to pull the building 7. How did they pull Building 7?
Actually, that's a great question, and the answer is that they didn't. That quote has been kicked around by conspiracy theorists over and over, and having spoken to Silverstein, having spoken to any number of large controlled demolition firms, including those that are accused, the term pull it is not a demolition term. People have alleged. I'm sorry?
Since when is it not a demolition term? That's the only context I've heard it used in.
We have never heard it used that way, and neither actually have, the people who do this professionally that we spoke to.
Good afternoon, Milwaukee Company.
Sorry, is this Controlled Demolitions?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I was wondering if there was someone I could talk to briefly, just to ask a question I had.
Well, what kind of question?
Well, I just wanted to know what a term meant in demolition terms.
Okay, what type of term?
Well, if you were in the demolition business and you said the term pull it, I was wondering what exactly that would mean.
Pull it?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
Thank you.
Sir?
Yes?
Pull it is when they actually pull it down.
Oh. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
What about the 7 hijackers, 7 to 9 hijackers that were reported in the British press who came forward and said, we're alive. What are we doing on the FBI's list of so-called hijackers? We're alive and well. How did they explain that one?
Actually, my explanation for that is that I have read that one BBC report that claims
it's
to have...
more than one BBC report. Are you saying that that's false?
I am saying that is false.
Okay, how did you verify that?
There was DNA evidence collected all over the place.
The building was incinerated, the concrete was turned into powder, there were molten pools of steel in the bottom of the building that were still hot weeks after, and they were able to do autopsies on bodies?
Have you ever seen
are you insane? Where are the autopsy reports you're referring to? On the hijackers. Where are those reports? I haven't heard anything about autopsy.
Particularly out of the Pentagon, actually.
Well, I want to know where, even if we presume that you're correct that they recovered the DNA of the 19 hijackers from the rubble, where did they get their original DNA against which to match it?
My point...
No, don't go to your point. Go to my point. Where did they get the original DNA of a bunch of Middle Eastern Islamic madmen? Where'd they get the DNA? Had they submitted the DNA before they... where the hell did they get it? You're not even talking sensibly with me.
Off the top of my head, I don't know the answer to that.
Of course you don't.
I'll get back to you with it.
Is that a promise?
I will do my best.
People all across the state of Arizona now are hearing Davin Coburn say on the show that he's going to find out how they got that DNA checked against those Islamic terrorists who had shaved their bodies naked to hijack those planes that day. Good. I'd like to hear it.
Popular Mechanics.
Hi, Davin?
Yep.
Hi, my name's Jeff. The reason I was calling was because I wanted to ask you, the other day, I heard you say something about the evidence for DNA with the 19 hijackers. I was wondering if you could source that information yet?
If you have any questions about the 9/11 book, I can give you a number to call, or you can contact our media representative.
You aren't able to source that information yet? And also the fact that I called 3 demolition companies, and they are aware of the term pull it. You said that was not used in any demolition company term.
Thanks very much for the call. Do you have the contact info for our media representative?
What is that, please?
Can I put you on hold for just a second?
So you can't answer either of those questions then?
I'll put you on hold. I'll be right back.
Thanks very much.
Hey, sorry about that.
Hi.
That 911 number is 212-649-2935.
So you still have no information about where you got the DNA evidence from, or?
I've been instructed to direct every phone call about that 911 book to that number.
Okay, and did you had tried calling Controlled Demolitions or anybody to get the term "pull it" defined?
Thanks very much for your call. Have a good day.
Oh, you too, Davin.
You've reached the office of the 911 editor. Please leave a message of 60 seconds or less. Thank you for your interest in popular mechanics.
Okay.
All right. You don't understand why when you tell us that they found the hijackers' DNA remains amongst the molten steel, and I ask you where did they get the original DNA from the hijackers to match it against? Do you think that's bizarre to ask a question like that? Do you think it's conspiratorial just to want to know?
I think the way that you're framing it is not.
How will you frame it differently, but get to the same issue for me? How would you frame it?
I think I would take a different take on the entire question.
Well, okay, there's DNA evidence. You told me they have DNA evidence that matches the hijackers.
I would think that the entire question, however, is baseless. I think that it is not even a question that is worth answering.
Well, you're the one that told me they have the DNA evidence.
You're the one who wouldn't let me approach the question from the way that I would answer it.
Well, go ahead and approach it.
And that is that if that report, if these men are still alive,
right,
why have we not seen any news reports? Why have we not seen any?
But you're the one. Okay, can I answer that for you?
Sure.
Okay, I don't know the answer. That's my answer. Now, now, let me ask you a question in the same spirit. You told me that they've checked their DNA. Where did they get the original DNA to check it against? You're the one with the answers. I'm not. I just have questions.
And I'm telling you that actually, a 7-year-old can ask why. Over and over and over, and there's
no. This is the worst attack on America in the history of this country. We've invaded 2 countries, maybe a third because of it. We're going to spend trillions of dollars. It's not a 7-year-old asking why. I want to know where they got the evidence that they matched it against. What's so hard about that?
The way that you're framing it is intentionally.
Of course it is, because it's 5 years later and we haven't heard the answer, and you haven't given it to us in popular mechanics. I swear to God, that's it. You see. Now do you understand why people scratch their head when these